What up, fam? Welcome to Skill Tree, where we learn how to do just about everything. And Happy New Year! We finally passed 2020, which was that was a special year, wasn't it? That being said, we did learn some pretty cool stuff last year, and I'm looking to keep that train rolling. I guess you could say leveling up those skills is my New Year's resolution. What I did there is called a segue. I'm segueing into what this episode's about. Here's a fun fact. The precursor to our tradition of keeping New Year's resolutions goes all the way back some 4,000 years to the ancient Babylonians. During their New Year, which took place sometime in March, I believe, they made promises to the gods to repay all their debts and do all the things they're supposed to do. Which, unlike our New Year's resolutions, which are just kinda made while we're in the spirit and then broken, I imagine if you're promising things to the gods, you gotta follow through on that, right? That being said, on today's episode, I'd like to show you how to keep your New Year's resolution without the threat of, a meteor being cast upon you or some such. That being said, if that's what motivates you, I mean, yeah, there could be a comet coming your way right now. You really should get working out, I think.
Smite me, oh mighty smiter!
For all the rest of you, let's learn how to set ourselves up to achieve our goals this year and level up this skill. New year, same you. Okay, let's address the first big problem with making New Year's resolutions, and that's the assumption that just because the date has changed in your calendar, your whole situation has magically changed as well. And as much as I hate to be the one to piss on your parade, it didn't. Odds are you still have the same time constraints and stressors. You got a job and maybe you have kids to get to. Those are all the same on January 1st as they were on December 31st, right? And this isn't at all meant to be a negative thing, it's just really good to start with a realistic point of view for what your time constraints are and what your priorities are. And although that January 1st date is kind of arbitrary, there is no denying the energy we feel once that date turns over, right? It's that feeling of possibility and being able to make changes in your life, and it's great. But, and this is why most of us don't keep our resolutions, that energy doesn't last. And once that motivation dies down, so does our desire to go out and run in the cold. Why does this take place during winter? I don't want to run outside. It's horrible out there. They should make New Year's start in July. That'd be nice. Anyway, even though this activation energy doesn't last, we can use it to set ourselves up for success for the rest of the year. And we can start that by narrowing down exactly what our goals are. And that's my first tip. You have to be really specific about what you want to achieve. So saying I want to get in shape is too amorphous. You have to narrow it down. I want to lose X amount of pounds. I want to be X amount body fat. I want to have a six-pack. I do want a six-pack. Okay, great. This gives you a super actionable thing that you can actually track. You can weigh yourself from day to day and see how close you're getting to your goal. And knowing you have those check-ins are gonna set yourself up in the back of your head for when you wanna grab that extra snack or rest instead of exercise. You know you're gonna set yourself behind on your goal, and so it motivates you to keep going forward. All right, so you have a specific goal in hand. Now you have to isolate how you're going to achieve this. And this is where what I mentioned earlier really comes into play about you being honest about your time and your priorities. So it's really easy to say, on January 1st, I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week. But if you look at your schedule and you realize, all right, my trip home from work on these days usually takes longer, I have to pick up the kids on these days, maybe 3 days a week isn't actually a reality for you. And by locking yourself into that 3 days a week, when you don't make that, you start making a habit of failing that goal. And if you miss 1 day a week, whatever, I've already missed a day, I can miss another day. It's not like it's gonna blow this up, I've already failed, right? You don't wanna get into that habit. You gotta get things that you can succeed in. So okay, you can't do 3 days a week. Can you do 2? Is that something that's possible? Or maybe 1. Maybe you can just do some push-ups after lunch every day. Whatever, just make it a thing that you know you can actually achieve. Another thing that helps is being able to hold yourself accountable to those goals. A great way to do this is to keep a little daily checkoff list in like a bullet journal or something, which I show you how to do here. Or getting yourself an accountability buddy who has like a similar goal as you so that you can kind of play off each other and help motivate each other when you're not feeling up to it.
Bradley, please, you're my accountability buddy.
Here is the whole overarching trick to this whole thing for the first 1 to 2 months of the year. It isn't about that December 31st goal achievement at the end of the year. Instead, make the first 1 to 2 months only about developing a habit. But clever, how do I develop a habit? I am so glad you asked, audience member who provides me great segues. Making it stick. It's been said, we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. Quick aside, when I was looking for that, I always thought it was Aristotle who said that. Wasn't. It was a man named Will Durant. Though the typical attribution is wrong, the sentiment's pretty spot on. We think ourselves very clever and the masters of the decisions we make and all that. The truth is, a lot of what we do from day to day is just the product of neural programming. In fact, the definition of a habit is an acquired mode of behavior that has become nearly or completely involuntary. And that's not a bad thing. Habits make it so we don't have to overthink and agonize about every single thing we do. By stealing our attention back from the more repetitive, mundane tasks, we're able to ponder the mysteries of the universe, like why didn't they just use the time turner to stop Voldemort before he made Horcruxes?
Silence!
Seriously, you're telling me Snape was so upset about Lily's death, but he didn't think about using a time turner to stop it from happening? Doesn't check out. Does not check out. Now in the book The Power of Habit, author Charles Duhigg explains that new habits are formed via a process called the habit loop. In a nutshell, the habit loop just consists of a cue which triggers an action, the routine which is the actual action of the habit, and then the reward you get for actually performing that action. So for example, when I get in my car in the morning, that is my cue to go get Starbucks. Just is. The action, of course, is to go there, place my order, and pick up the sweet, sweet nectar of the gods. And the reward, of course, is me getting to imbibe that sweet, sweet drug of choice. That has become a habit. I don't intellectualize it when I sit in my car that I want to go to Starbucks. It's just a thing I want to do, and I habitually end up doing it. In fact, sometimes after I've done it and I get like on the phone in the morning or whatever, I forget the coffee's even there. I don't drink it. It gets cold. But I still get the sense of satisfaction and the dopamine rush my stupid brain gives me for completing my habit loop. And this is exactly what we're looking to achieve with your resolution. We want to hijack the programming of our stupid little meat computer and have it go towards our goals. So again, let's get the classic resolution example of getting in shape, which, thanks to the discussion we had earlier, you've narrowed down to losing 20 pounds. So the habits we need to form here are diet and exercise. So if you're a morning person, for example, maybe getting up early is your cue to go exercise. So once you've established in your head that that's going to be your cue, your routine then is to put in like an hour worth of exercise right when you wake up. The real tricky bit here is going to be your reward. That's the thing you need to experiment with a little bit. You need to convince yourself that that routine that you just performed is worth performing again so that you can get that reward again. Now this can't be as simple as the natural endorphin rush you get from exercising, or maybe you treat yourself to your favorite post-workout smoothie. Whatever it is, just make sure it's something you really enjoy and doesn't undo your goal, like a whole tub of Haagen-Dazs or something. My resolution is to eat more tubs of Haagen-Dazs. That would be good. Basically, you're writing your own little program that says CQ, do action, get reward. If you're diligent with this, after only about a month and a half, this whole process becomes automatic. You don't even need to think of it anymore. This is where you meet those people who seem crazy and really want to go to the gym or whatever. It's because at this point, their brain associates the routine of going to the gym with the good feeling with the reward they get at the end. So there you have it, you are now equipped to kick some ass and take some names in 2021. So now I'm curious, what are your goals for this year? Leave them down in the comments section. Mine is to grow this channel and reach 50K subscribers. You can help me reach that goal by giving me some of that like it love and making sure you subscribe and join the family. Speaking of the Skill Tree fam, I got gifts. Turns out some of my awesome community members got together and made gifts for me and sent them. You can check out the live stream New Year's night of me here opening them up, but let me highlight a few for you. I also told them I'd be wearing as much of it as I could, so yeah, I got this pendant, these gloves, one of which is supposed to belong to Middle Miss Red, but you know what? She's never gonna get them. A little potion bag and a bottle of like pepper sauce that I'm honestly afraid of. It's made from Reaper peppers. It was a bad time for me. This scroll was handmade for me. Look at that, that's so dope. A leather scroll case for my scroll. This dope box with my logo on it and little potions inside. And also, armor to protect my junk. A bag of ochre so I can make my own dyes, this awesome little twisted metal tree. I got so much stuff. You guys are incredible. You worked so hard on this, and I couldn't be happier that you're part of this community. Thank you so much. I hope to be able to pay you back this year with entertainment and cool projects. Oh, and speaking of thank you, I also wanted to give a shout out to our newest high-level tier Patreon member, Get Ya Crowds. And it's a special shout out to him too because he's also one of my DMs for my Tuesday game and just a dope person. So what's up, crowds? Thanks for the support. Alright fam, well I hope this episode got you off to a good start with your new year. Remember, you are amazing. Last year was rough, but you made it through. And this year you're gonna crush it. In the meantime though, keep leveling up, you.